We're here with Karen Howe, founder of the Township Group. Karen, how's Can been for you so far?
Can has been as its usual self, which is I feel like I'm operating on fumes at this point in the week. So it's an adrenaline hit for 5 days solid.
And you're very focused on trends. I know you tour the country following Can, or tour Canada, I should say. What trends are you seeing? What trends would you be taking home for the different agencies and partners that you present to?
I think it's a few things, Neil. I think that there's this new nostalgia in place that I think is really interesting, and I think it's kind of a blowback to the whole AI thing. I think we've settled ourselves down about that. We're getting on with it. But I see a real tendency of a lot of brands to be looking back in order to move forward. So I see the nostalgia in even a lot of things that are being handed out here on the Palais are like very analog. But I see a lot of nods back to a year when a lifetime when things were less complicated, and it's sort of showing itself in the work in that way. I think the other thing I'm seeing is a lot of emotion. And I haven't seen that for years. I think when, we kind of got, after COVID, we all kind of went back to just doing stuff that was pretty nuts and bolts, no more emotive stuff. But I'm seeing a reemergence of using emotion as a way for brands to connect out with their audience. And I think it's great.
Okay. Do you think that is something that is sort of evolved from last year, or are there any trends that have been sort of persistent this year that you identified last year?
No, I think it's a new world order. I think we were very consumed with AI. Many of the sessions were, oh, what about AI? I still feel like the fear of it is palpable, but I think we're getting on with business instead of just wringing our hands, which is nice to see. I saw a session that I thought was excellent. It was with Sir John Hegarty, who's one of my advertising heroes, and he kind of reminded us of just the things we seem to have forgotten that are the basic tenets of this business, which is to stop stalking our audience and start inspiring them. I mean, and that's what creative's all about. Creativity is all about making that connection, and inspiring people, and finding a way to be a part of their lives in a meaningful way, solving a problem. Like, all the basics of advertising still count and still matter. And I'm glad that I'm seeing a swing back to those sort of basic tenets that are so important.
Excellent. Have you toured the basement?
I've spent half the week in the basement. I think I have hypothermia because of it. Yeah, the work is great this year. I think it's much stronger than last year, as a matter of fact.
So, Karen, in your time in the basement, was there a case or two that stood out that you wish Canada had done?
There are a number of great cases. One in particular that I liked because I thought it was very emotionally centered, and I didn't see that coming, was for Victoria Cerveza, which is a really important beer brand from Mexico. In Mexico, Dias de Muertos is a big day. The Day of the Dead is a big deal. And this brand told this beautiful story. It was like a film. It was beautifully executed. It was like a work of art about a simple shopkeeper in Mexico who adopted a stray dog, their life together. And it's this whole narrative arc of him losing the dog at the end of his life. But the Day of the Dead's all about when you die, the companion that of your life is there waiting for you to take you to the afterlife. It's sort of like a reunion. It's a thing of beauty. And this storyline was his dog was there to meet him, to take him over at the end of his life. And it was beautiful. It was touching. It was so eloquently executed. I just didn't see it coming. So I thought, I love the humanity of it. And in fact, that is one of the really significant trends I do see this year, which is I think the pushback against AI. So much of the work is very human-centered. And I feel like that's been missing for a while. So it's nice to see it back. And it's nice to see people leaning into it as a default position against the AI-ness of it all.
So, with last year, there was a bunch of issues with case studies and whatnot that weren't quite above board. Do you think the festival still or has regained its reputation this year?
I think they were really careful about it. I think they managed it very well. And in terms of submissions, it's really carefully marked out in terms of what you have to sign off on in order to put a submission in. So I think they put up some really smart guardrails.
And why is it valuable or important that Canadians come over to Cannes, compete at Cannes, take in the content?
Oh my God, because it is the Olympics of creativity. This is where the very best work is. And I think it really helps us to be better as a country to come here and watch and really understand what excellence is, where the bar is set. I think it just helps us be better, to be inspired by this tremendous work.
And you're involved in our own marketing awards program.
Yes.
What's it like in the jury room? What should people that are submitting think about while they're putting their cases together?
I think one of the most important things is you've really got to spend time on the insight and the idea. And then, God is in the details. It's got to be executed brilliantly. I mean, some of the best work this year, I think, was very, very simple, but, it found that nugget. I always call it the stone in the snowball, like that insight, that thing. And, but then beautifully executed. I mean, everything has to be extraordinary. You can't drop the ball anywhere.
I was talking to a couple of people who said that you need a lot of tension in your case study.
Tension, that's interesting. I think you need an absolutely memorable hook. I mean, I think we saw that with Young Lions today. I think the work to remember has a great hook, even just a great name, a handle. But tension, I would say that's a fair comment for sure.
And you've been coming to Cannes for a very long time. So do you have any advice or a Cannes hack that you think people that are coming next year should know?
Oh, you mean by get enough sleep, because you won't? No, I just think you have to gear up, be ready to be here, be on deck, miss nothing when you're here. Like, make the most of every minute. Make sure you go down to the basement and spend the time looking at the work from around the world. You just don't get that kind of an opportunity anywhere else. For me, that's one of the most important things.
So you tour around your insights, your trends, everything that you think Canadians need to know out of the festival. How can agencies, different groups, students get in touch with you to take in that presentation that you put together?
Just reach out to me at my website. I'd be happy to decode Cannes for any group that wants that sort of kickstart of adrenaline and inspiration to kind of set them up for a year of success.
Okay. And what is that website?
It's KarenHowe.ca.
Perfect. Okay. Well, enjoy the last couple of days here, and looking forward to being back here next year with you.
Thanks,
hopefully.
Neil. It's great to be here with you again.